Everybody, welcome to the Lore Reloaded. As always, my unadulterated pleasure, even though I didn't make this public. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Lore Reloaded. As always, my unadulterated pleasure to let you guys come on and see the show and be a part of something different, part of something new, part of something that matters. Something that matters to all of us. As soon as I did that, I received a copyright strike because that is my life these days. I also didn't open this up right, so if you guys, we may not have anybody. If you guys hear me, let me know. Yep, there we go. Anyway, today we'll be having a very interesting conversation, talking about whatever you want to talk about. Most importantly, though, how Star Trek writers shouldn't listen to us, and additionally, how Sisko's Section 31, and it is proven. It is science fact. Though I am going to give it a second. I may actually try to restart this if it doesn't come up right. But looks like it did. Okay. So, anyway, for those who aren't on Twitter, recently there has been a hubbub, a conversation, if you will, about how Lower Decks disproves, or how Lower Decks proves that Star Trek has fallen and is destroyed, if you will, because of a certain image that has been floating around, which is what's going on at Tennessee Repair Guy, Glamorous, Alex in the house, which is somewhat disappointing, if you will. I, honest to God, don't understand how Star Trek haters can continue to just go along the same route that they do. All they do is they take an image or they take one fact, take it out of context, and then share it. Like, literally, I don't necessarily get that. But it is because of stuff like that. What's going on, Jeff? Jeff, as it is. I haven't seen you here in a while. Usually see you on Twitter, buddy. It is because of that. I think that writers really shouldn't even listen to us. And I sincerely mean that. Arctic Fox in the house. The most favorite person when it comes to live streams. April up in here. So I really just think that if they're going to get the amount of hate that they do, the dishonest hate, if you ask me. And no, Jeff, this is not for you. I don't think you're necessarily dishonest. I think those you follow, maybe. Some of the people you retweet, maybe, but not you specifically. If they're going to do that, there's no reason for the there's no reason for the writers or the showrunners to really listen. They should just do what they want. I mean, that's kind of what I do, honestly. I don't really listen to what the left or the right says when it comes to my channel or what I put on. I just have fun with it because they're gonna get mad regardless. OG Son Howard in the house. I can't believe how vile and disgusting this week's Lower Decks was. Yeah, and what's funny is, what's insane is that, again, they show like this one scene, which if you've seen Lower Decks, you know the one I'm talking about. This one scene that, out of context, sure, is pretty disturbing, but you can find a scene like that in literally every series. Literally every series. Maybe not the original series, but maybe the Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and Enterprise, for sure. They might actually have something like that in the originals. Actually, they do, the more I think about it. Though it's more Spock and Kirk, which is ironic to me. Did the Wrath of Khan writers listen to Trekkies? They did not. They did not. In fact, the cast and crew didn't even like what the Wrath of Khan writers were doing, which is just, like, interesting. Cringy. It's cringy in the others. Okay, well, that's fine. You can say it's cringy, but you can't say it's different, that it has somehow warped Trek, because Trek has always been like that. So it's not necessarily quote unquote cringy. It's not. I, it may be cringy, but it doesn't change what Trek was. It's not like a step down. Question of Trek: why ain't you a mod? What the hell is up with that? It's naked time. It's true. Could a prequel about the first humanoid species from the next generation? I don't think that would work. No. All the simulations were based on memories of crews. Season 1, Episode 3 of TNG. That's absolutely what was happening on the lower decks. Yeah, Wiggly Worm. It's just silly. I think the Star Wars girl is the worst one that I've seen of all the people getting upset. Like, this is not Star Trek. Again, it's literally based on the Naked Time. But there are also episodes in, again, The Next Generation, the original series, Voyager. All of them have done it. It's Biden in a room with... What the hell is wrong with you, Sissy4? I expect that type of talk when it comes to Salty Trekkers room, but not here, good sir or madam. Good sir. Alasdair, hey man, what did you think of the Picard series? I thought it was meh. I thought it was... I really liked the first three episodes. I thought the first three episodes were extremely promising, but it just went downhill from there. And while I don't think it was as bad as Discovery Season 1, I don't think it was, and I use this term relative, as good as Discovery Season 2. It's just meh. It's highly cringe. I look at it as a parody. It's fine, Jeff. I mean, see, that's the thing. People get kind of confused about, or they think that I'm a huge, like, you have to accept it as canon person. I really am not. The channel is based on canon, so whatever is canon is going to be talked about in the channel. But, like, if you're talking about it in your own mind, or you look at it in a different way, I don't care. Honestly, I would have never watched Discovery past Season 1. I don't know that I would have got through Season 1 if it wasn't for this channel. I'm kind of glad I did, because I do think that Discovery Season 3 was pretty good, but I have not watched the animated series completely all the way through. Of all Trek series, including in everything in the franchise, the animated series is the one I can't get through. I do not like the animated series. I don't like it at all. Problem is, company following profit and will do what it takes for... Well, all of them do that, though, Arctic. I mean, if you look at the Next Generation, you look at Voyager, dollars to donuts. They even say it in there that the reason why they were so... I don't want to say they were conservative, but they were less liberal, less progressive, is because they knew they had a conservative base. That's why you saw some of the things you saw, is because they knew that a lot of their money was coming from a conservative audience. And that was just following the money, too. What about the reptilians from Voyager making a more pronounced presence? What about the reptilians from What are you talking about specifically, Funk? What's going on, Bison? I recommend it. Many diamonds in the rough. I mean, as much as I like watching a series that has pregnant Tribble that's as big as the captain's chair, or literally Satan showing up, I may try to give it another try, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the animated series. Good old We Are Fandom Menace Starfleet. OG Son Howard helping out the channel. Only way I keep the lights on. Good old We Are Fandom Starfleet Menace Lore Master. Love your channel. That's true. That's true. I play both sides so that I can get the maximum amount of money. That's exactly how that works. Nailed it. Called it. I just got paid $100 by 3 fans to task with them to the animated series with them. I must service the fans. How do you task somebody? Is that a how do we verb that? How do you turn that into a verb? The Dominion War never happened. That is true. Inside job. I got to be honest, I haven't watched any of the new series since the last one named Enterprise, which I liked because it had Space Smurfs in it. I have no idea what you mean by Space Smurfs, but Space Smurfs? What's a Smurf? I don't know why you guys come on and watch me, because I can never talk. I don't know what you mean by Space Smurfs. Jesus Christ. But if that's what you liked and that's where you wanted to end it, you do you. I support that. Andorians. Ah. Okay. I guess I can see that. Did they have antenna? Smurfs didn't have antenna, though, did they? I mean, it still works, but... La 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 la. They did not have They did not have antenna. So, not that y'all care, but there was a filmmaker who had a channel, and I loved it, and I can't find it anymore, and I wish I could. And his tagline, and what he started out with was, "I just want to make my movie, man," and he was saying he was going to make his movie before the. $130, Kevin Norton, and I'll do it. What was I talking about? Oh, and he was wanting to make a movie. He was a filmmaker, and he said he was going to do it before the Smurfs made their animated movie, and of course, that didn't happen. He was a small YouTuber. Man, I wish I could remember his channel. But to be honest, Smurf is the last thing that I would call the blue Klingons with snail antennae. The Andorians really do encompass a lot of the other races, don't they? You know, Vulcans were worried about humans, but the Andorians really had a lot of traits from various different species as well. I watch you because there's a small possibility that you read my comments and I become a part of this. Cormac Subwing, you have always been a part of this, and you will always continue. This channel is nothing without you. Nothing. Good sir. I'm pretty sure you're a sir. Or madam. Or Z. Canadian dollars or freedom bucks? Sorry, we only use the Queen's country here. Hey, Laura popped in to send you some cash and say you're awesome. I'll catch this stream after work. Take care. Can y'all hear it? Y'all probably can't hear it. She's talking. I need to turn that off. I always forget that. That's why I stopped talking. Because it's doing that thing, and you guys should be able to hear it, but I turn it off. And it's not going to do it at the $5. Of course it's not. Hey, Lore. I know this is not Star Trek related, but what do you think about Babylon?
Listen, that Nickelodeon kid show never fucking happened.
Arctis Fox super chatted $5. Hey Laura, I know this is not Star Trek related, but what do you think about a Babylon 5 reboot?
I would be excited for a Babylon 5. I'm looking forward to the Babylon. I think, isn't there a Babylon 5? There's a Battlestar Galactica reboot. If they did it well. Give me one quick second, by the way.
Listen, that Nickelodeon kid show never fucking happened.
OG-san Howard super chatted $5, but you've already made content praising STD for what you think the show has done well.
Yeah, I think it's saying super chatted as well. It's supposed to be super chatted, though. Super chatted. I mean, yeah, Geoff says, Laura, I like you because you have interesting takes. Well, I'm glad you like my take. I try to be fair. I try not to let my bias come into it. Like, again, I don't like Star Trek Discovery Season 1, nor do I like Star Trek Discovery Season 2. And I don't like what they did behind the scenes for Star Trek Season 1. Star Trek Discovery Season 1. I don't think they... It was probably the worst divisiveness I've ever seen, but I don't think that should be reflected in looking at the actual art form or what they did. Talk to you later, Jeff. Thanks for coming, buddy. And so I try to be as fair as I can. Do Canadians have dollars? I thought they traded shiny rocks and maple syrup boulders. Canadians actually, they trade in boulders. And there's a Boulder King, in fact, that they have. I super chatted once. It was hell of a flu that was. Well, that sucks. Sea bucks are very colorful and made of plastic. True facts. True facts. No Babylon 5 rubbish, no reboot. Well, I tell you, I really liked Battlestar Galactica, the reboot, the reimagined Battlestar Galactica. In fact, that is Battlestar Galactica for me. The original Battlestar Galactica, I don't, for me, I don't even consider the original BSG like the BSG. So a remake can be done really, really well. I don't know. What would happen if a Phantom Menace woke up in Alex Kurtzman's body? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think many of the Phantom Menace channels are actually legit. I think that they're playing a part because they like money, and I think it's a good way of making money. I think that if they woke up in Alex Kurtzman's body, that they would continue to do what Alex Kurtzman's does because they like money. I do not think that they are sincere. I don't think they're getting paid off by anybody. I think you can just make a lot of money peddling hate and disdain. I really do. I hope we see more of Riker and the USS Titan.
Listen, that Nickelodeon kid show never fucking happened.
April V super chatted $9.99. Davey and I just wanted to support your channel.
Aw, thank you, April. You rock, madam. Adored. You've literally become the voice of Trek for me. It helped me through a tough time. Just want to say, well, thanks, Alistair. I'm glad I was able to help you. Thank you for being a part of it. Ear Review says, go lore. Go do what? Would Andromeda have been better if Roddenberry had done it himself? No. Here's the thing about Roddenberry. Roddenberry was an absolutely wonderful person at creating universes. He was imaginative. He went outside the box. When it comes to the creation of a world, of a somewhere that characters can inhabit, he's really good at it. He's exceptional. George Lucas is the same way. He has absolutely no idea how to write stories, at least not for the Star Trek universe, and I doubt for the Andromeda one either. He cannot write stories at all. Great creator. Great creator. Not so much a storyteller. I guarantee most every one of the episodes you like was written by not Roddenberry. I've been hearing that most of the streaming services don't count show view numbers. All they pay attention to for our investors are the subscriber numbers. Any truth to this, you think? I've been hearing that most of the streaming services don't count show view numbers. I don't know. That's not how YouTube does it. I can tell you that. What really... I don't know. I don't work for any streaming services. From the way I understand and my job and what I've been doing for 3 years, it really comes down to view and watch time more than anything else. That's where the money really is to be had. I can't see it being different for streaming. But then again, I guess if they're a business and they just show a subscriber count to investors, that could be impressive. I don't know. I'm sorry. Honestly, I don't know. He hated the director's vision for Star Trek 4 and died unhappy with Nicholas Meyer. Yeah, that's true. That is absolutely true. Hated Wrath of Khan. Could not stand it. Honestly, I think the franchise would be dead if the writing team consisted entirely of... It would be dead. I agree. It wouldn't. It cannot exist as what they claim to want. It cannot exist. They definitely count show view numbers to look at it in conjunction with subscribers. I could see that, April. YouTube doesn't do that. While YouTube pretends to do that, I can tell you definitively they don't do that. Yeah, but he had IV, which is 4. Now VI is 6, I agree. It's going to be delayed, because of course it's delayed.
Listen, that Nickelodeon kid show never fucking happened.
Squiscow 2322 super chatted $5. Loved yesterday's video. If any of you haven't seen it, you should.
I should produce Fanboys too. I should produce. Kevin Norton, what VPN do you use? I'm coming to the end of term on one, and if I'm going to get one, I like to support someone in the process. So you're asking me which one do I use versus what supports me? Because, good friend, let me tell you that if you want a VPN service that is at the top of its game and support the channel, I would suggest going to surfshark.deals/lore and get all your VPN needs from there. You can get 83% off plus 3 free months free, and it supports the channel. That said, I'll be completely honest with you. I generally don't use a VPN. I got paid to say that. That said, when I am traveling and I am getting on a hotel network or whatever, especially if I'm accessing YouTube, I will use the Surfshark VPN. Maybe getting a discount for that though. I haven't ever had any troubles with Surfshark VPN, and so that's what I've used. But they did pay me to do a sponsorship for them recently. DC Fontana, Walter Koenig, and David Gerald all wrote episodes of Land of the Lost. Oh, cool. Huge fan of DC Fontana. What's my opinion, Laura? What's my opinion on what? I have a lot of opinions. Most of them bad. What specifically opinion are we talking about? Discovery Season 1 is not the best, but I watched it with 3 non-Star Trek fans who loved it and didn't realize they were being indoctrinated. Then they went off to watch TNG ear stuff on their own. Okay. I mean, Discovery has brought people to Trek. I honestly, and I don't know the answer to this, I'd be very, very interested to see what the conversion rate of non-Trek fans are, because it's possible that Discovery just isn't liked by legacy fans, you know? What do I think of the theory that the crew in Star Trek Picard will have to correct the timeline by making sure the Third World War happens? I haven't heard that. That'd be interesting. I think that would be clever writing. I'm not sure they'd do that, though. I don't think the writers would go that way, but maybe. Do I think the Federation actually implemented a Borg simulation to help them get ready for boarding Borg cubes, or was that just a lower decks thing? They would have to train to fight the Borg. It doesn't make any sense that they wouldn't. I don't think that that's a lower decks thing. I think it makes a lot of sense that they'd have simulations. I mean, they created entire ships to fight and destroy the Borg. They're not going to create holodeck simulations? Really? I got in Trek via the JJ films, and I love them. DC Fontana wrote The Naked Time and The Naked Now. Well, cool. DC Fontana wrote a lot. I'll tell you someone who wrote a lot of the stuff you enjoy, especially in Voyager, and you don't even know it. Writer by the name of Lisa Klink. If you don't know her or you haven't heard of her, she is excellent. I personally think that she's on par with Kuhn, on par with Meyer, on par with on par with Fontana too. I really like her. If they had made the new Trek look the same as the universe it came from, it would have done wonders to bridging the divide. Yeah, but you could have said the same thing from the original series, series to the movies. They changed so much from the original series to the movies, and from the movies to TNG, and from TNG to DS9. They're always changing stuff. I mean, it's just, I guess it's because it happened so long, and maybe there was a little more change than what had happened previously, but changes always happen. Lisa Klink, right there. The Delta Flyers podcast with Tom and Harry had Lisa Klink on. She's cool. Yeah, I like her. Lisa Klink's good people. And again, she wrote some of the best Voyager you've watched. You never knew it, but Lisa Klink really is a big inspiration to you.
Listen, that Nickelodeon kid show never fucking happened.
Arctis Fox super chatted $5. I would love to see you do a cinematic breakdown of In Pale Moonlight.
The ever lovely Arctic Fox helping out the channel. I feel like I have done a cinematic breakdown. Maybe time to do another one, but I feel like I have broken it down cinematically. Maybe not, but I feel like I have. I'd have to go back and take a look, but I'd have to.
Alex Bogey super chatted $1.99. Mud's Women was written by Gene Roddenberry. Loved.
Okay. I have issues with Mud's Women, but if you liked it, that's good. He also wrote, and he also had a lot of influence over season 1 and season 2 of TNG. I guarantee you most of the stuff you like, Alex, is not Roddenberry. But that's cool that you like some stuff that he wrote. Do you think that we should see more of the Breen? They're one of my favorite Star Trek species. I think an expansion on the Breen would be interesting. Not sure what they would do with it, but yeah.
Listen, that Nickelodeon kid show never fucking happened.
OG San Howard super chatted $5. Oh yeah. Those punks ruined my boy Boimler's perfect score. And oh man, Twitter was weird after that cringe scene. Sorry for repeating myself.
That's alright, man. Thanks for supporting the channel. Yeah, you know what I love about that though, for people who actually, and this is what's frustrating about people who get on Lower Decks and generally the idiots that are the Phantom Menace and just trying to shill. The real shills are Phantom Menace channels, but there was some great points in that episode. For instance, even the captain said Boimler is one of the best that the Ceratops, oh, I'm sorry, I can't say it right. The Ceratops, make sure I get that right, has to offer. They go out of their way to show how Boimler is coming into his own and how he is able to save the day. And he is consistently saving the day over and over and over. Yeah, it's the Ceratops. That's exactly how you say it. That is the exact right way to say it. So, anyone else think we got better Boimler after the transporter accident? I think that I think he's always been top of his game. I think he's always been one of the best Starfleet officers. Just unlike, just like how Mariner had all the experience, he didn't. He was basically a Barclay. And he's just coming into his own, and he wasn't sure, but he knew it. The Chiritos. I like that one. How are you always mispronouncing the Chiritos? What are you talking about, JMC? I've been saying it completely right. I've been saying it right this entire time. By the way, Locutus came by, didn't say hello to that. The Doritos. Cerritowus. What is the meaning of the title, In the Pale Moonlight? I know that I did a video and I broke that down. I want to say, yeah, there it is. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale of the moonlight? I think that's what they were trying to go for. Dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight, which is kind of a reference to Garrick, to what he had to do. Yeah. Have you checked out the episodes of the Delta Flyers podcast? I have not. I've heard it's really good, though. Species I think we need to see more of. Breen, Andorians, Tholians, and that's it. Maybe the Remans. I really have no interest in the Remans. Tholians, Breen, and Andorians would be interesting. I'd love to see a full-on Andorian. Shran-like character. I need to see exactly what the Earth-Romulan War was like. Maybe a Trek series can spend a year in Time Paradox dealing with it and trying to restore it. I would like, I'm done with prequels. I don't really want to do prequels, but I would be very interested in seeing a Romulan War, even if it's pre-Federation. Let's just agree that people pronounce words differently. Well, the question is am I pronouncing it differently? Or am I trying to piss off Californians who deserve all of the pain they'll ever receive? You ask yourself that. Because not only do I like the Chiritos, but I also like the Solvivane. For those who didn't know, and this is completely unrelated, but all California classes are named after actual cities in California, otherwise known Hitler's birthplace. We need an Enterprise Season 5 set in the Earth-Romulan War. The Romulan War happened before the Federation, is the only problem with that. It was during the Coalition of Planets. So that would be a rewrite of history, but they could do it. New animated series set in the temporal investigations, righting wrongs throughout the timeline. We could even see the story of the Federation causing world. I think it would be interesting for them to do that, but I don't think that they would. I don't think that they would go through with that. William Shatner is going to space, the oldest person to do so. Does the Ceratos rhyme with the Doritos? No, those don't rhyme at all. I don't know what you're talking about, Axeman. After Discovery, can we just screw continuity all we want, right? After Discovery, we can just F with continuity all we... Dude, that started in Voyager, son. I mean, technically DS9, but Voyager was the one who says, to hell with all continuity, we don't even care. You want to get mad at continuity not being followed, that would be our good friends in the Voyager space. In the new Picard book, we see the USS Titan interact with a Romulan warbird, and the chief engineer on the Romulan ship is Riemann. This is played as weird and the result of a progressive captain. That would be cool. I would think that'd be interesting. I'd like to see the Romulans progress past the hat that they wear, but I don't know. Wouldn't the series with the temporal agents just be classed as a rip of a Loki these days? Could possibly be. I mean, who doesn't want Doritos? Everybody. Just decanonize the Enterprise finale. Put it as the TNG crossover it is. True. Shame we've not got as many new ships in Lower Decks Season 2. Yeah, I like some of the ships they've been bringing out, though. Voyager was Voyager was hella content. Yeah, well, I don't know why everybody gets like crazy. Everyone knows California was a part of the Reich. I don't understand why people take that. You know. It's like California is the Wales of the UK for my European people. Doesn't the UK hate Wales or something? I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. I like to think that the Enterprise finale took place in one of the quantum universes from the TNG episode Parallels. You know, I don't know if you saw my video. Reich is not how you spell USSR. That's fair, BGC Vin. One of my videos, I theorized that all of the shows are being watched from the mycelial network, and that from the mycelial network, and that you're seeing different universes. That's why they don't connect all the way. Picard should have continued his archaeology passion and discovered ancient tech on Earth that is way more advanced and they want it. Picard should have continued his archaeology passion. Maybe. I spoke with some English lads who told me that they feel like the Welsh. They just make fun of the way the Welsh talk. Okay. I don't know how the Welsh talk. The new California class, the USS... Well, and this is actually in canon. If you go watch Lower Decks, you can actually see this. The first ever California class was the USS Führer. That's actual canon. Go watch all of Lower Decks, you'll see. That was the first. That was the prototype. It was actually the NX Führer because it was a California prototype. If I was to make a reboot of the original series, would I have Discovery get blown up in the pilot? No, I would not have it. It's gone anyway. Discovery, the USS Discovery was so bad, they actually blew it up in their own series. I wouldn't have to do it in the original series. The Welsh are not weird, and there are no whales there. Did someone literally think they're called Welsh because they're a Wells? Welsh accent example. How to speak with a Welsh accent. Come on, lad.
Quite often you'll hear people's huge glide on sound in doing. Can I have a better that, please? Also, so that's peck and bet. Can I have a better that, please?
Well, that's just weird. Family Guy, he runs like a Welshman. Okay. Hell, not only did Voyager have trouble with continuity, but also suffered from writing inconsistency. Well, literally, from on high, they said, do not worry about continuity. Write stuff against continuity. Literally, that was the order from the executives, from Berman and all of them. Do not worry about it. So the USS California would be the first California class? No, I told you. It was the NX Führer. That was the first California class. TNG, all good things, satisfies my need to see temporal paradox issues and how to correct them. Plus, it's funny how Janeway was never put on trial for instigating a civil war with the Q. Man, there was a lot of things she did that was against God and country that she should be put on trial for. That she won't be. So what is wrong with Benny Russell producing Star Trek if its show is a weird multiversal thing? The problem with Benny Russell actually at the end. So this was the one, Ira, for those who don't know, Ira who wrote DS9, Ira Bear, wanted to have Benny Russell have been producing the show, like in universe. That means that breaks the universe so much, and in so many ways, it is completely and utterly frustrating and would have destroyed Deep Space Nine. DS9, because of that ending, would have been the Evangelion of Star Trek, if that makes any sense for those who have seen it. It was a horrific idea, and I am so glad that it got overrode. Plot twist, the Breen are evil tribbles and they hide in the suits. True. The Q are humans from a way more distant future explains the fascination. Well, actually, I'm thinking about doing a video over this. I recently watched The Voyager. I've all of a sudden become very interested in Voyager and love Janeway for some reason. I was recently watching the Voyager episode with Q on trial, actually. And it's interesting because during that trial, Q talks about how all of the species will go around and interact with the non-godlike entities and how they change and impact all these different species. And he goes through how the Q who wanted to die had positively impacted specifically human nature. Like I think it was Aristotle, Riker wouldn't have existed because of him, and Woodstock wouldn't have happened. So I do wonder if they aren't like the guardians of like the species. They're like the first ones? Battlestar, or not, Babylon 5's the first ones, or the old species, or whatever it was called. Mozilla Network officially broke Star Trek. I mean, worse than temporal stuff. I don't know that it broke Star Trek. It doesn't make a ton of sense.
Listen, that Nickelodeon kid show never fucking happened.
Ochi-san Howard super chatted $5. Janeway was the epitome, the quintessential Starfleet captain. She literally made no mistakes and our lives are better from her. Gotta go have fun.
Thanks, Oji-san. And, I mean, when you're right, you're right. I can't, when you're right, you're right. Do you think access to streaming and our ability for us to rewatch without end all of Trek breed intolerance of what? Do I think access to streaming and our ability for us to rewatch breeds intolerance of new Trek? No, I think it pushes. No, I don't think so. Nah, just completely. I don't think it does. I think people wanting to make money and those who have nostalgia. Because I'll say this, and I'll say this without an issue. People who are complaining about Discovery era Trek, most of them haven't actually watched original Trek in a while, or don't really study it. Because if you did, you would see that the two aren't so far apart. The Shadows versus the Dominion. True. The final thing about the Breen for the moment, because they're my favorite species, make a video about possible origins of the Breen. I don't think there's enough information to do that. I think that'd be interesting. Trek has a ready-made sci-fi show in the wings. Amelia Earhart awaits in the Delta Quadrant. Hell yeah. We're halfway to the $130 you said for Discovery video. Are you feeling nervous about it? No, I mean, I'll do it. I don't care. What specifically did we want to do it on? I mean, how am I supposed to talk? Just overall, or? Doesn't Fandom Menace feed on nostalgia and hate, but mostly nostalgia? No, they feed on an inaccurate nostalgia. Pull up almost any video that is talking about how great the original Trek was, and I will pinpoint how they're wrong and how it relates to new Trek in exactly the way they say it doesn't. It feeds nostalgia by its very definition is an inaccurate look at the past. It's taking something, dusting off the cobwebs and presenting it like new. As per usual, notifications don't pop. Yeah, dude, gotta love YouTube. Why did the Romulans get away so much crap? In The Defector, they said they were going to blow up the Enterprise to Picard, and they once killed all people on board of the Prometheus. Because the Federation is lawful stupid, and they are more than willing to let people die before they'll fight. I remember the cartoon episode The Mantis species that dies off millions of years ago, mentioned in a series, would be a good Easter egg. Huh. That Nickelodeon kids show never fucking had. Yeah, I love that. I need to put up more than just that. That was the only one I threw up just to test it out. But yeah, I love that quote. If you guys have any better or other Phantom Menace quotes, I'll include them. I'll need a link to them though. I think just talk about how brave and amazing they are for doing what they did with a focus on a first officer instead of a captain. You got it. I mean, I gotta get off. Hey. I'm not sure how long I can stay on, but I tell you what, we'll keep this one and the next one for sure. I remember. Oh, we already talked about that. I just saw an ad on TV for that Nickelodeon TV. You didn't. What may have actually happened, though, is Kurtzman may have actually punched his hand into a tube television, because those exist at CBS. They don't use LCD or any other kind of TV there, just a tube television, because he was so angry at what the Phantom Menace was doing, and you thought it was an ad.
Listen, that Nickelodeon kids show never fucking happened.
Arctis Fox super chatted $5. I blame the writers for how Janeway was wrote. Either they write her where she follows the rules, or they change her in episode where just goes Kirk.
Well, one of the problems about it is that there was two types of writing for her. They either wrote her as a competent captain whose both fatal flaw and greatest attribute is that she loves her crew and would do anything for her, or they wrote it as a feminist story where women are the greatest and can do no wrong and worship of a female captain. Those were the two types of writing for her. And so sometimes it was good, sometimes it wasn't. When will it be the next stream? I want to find a DVD Overlord Fandom Menace Star Trek Roddenberry's vision in social diversity. When will it be? What? I want to find a DVD Overlord Fandom Menace Star Trek Roddenberry. Oh, well, I mean, if you guys find something and you want me to put it on, you can send it to james@lorereloaded.com. Was that just a stab at Doom? Why, no, I don't know what you're talking about. The CBS logo was used as one of the evil computers in Lower Decks. Yeah, a lot of people say they don't have fun with themselves, but they do. They find transporting tech with ancient humans in the buffer like Scotty. Sure. I don't hate Discovery the way the FM does. Having actually watched it, the writing was horrible in season 1. That's why Burnham is so good. So let me tell you this. Something that I found interesting is, and I think this is, I think that this is, I know Overlord DVD is Doomtown. I think this is maybe the only series that's happened. If not, it's one of the few. Usually, if I watch something and I don't like it, I can come back a few years later and see some of the advantages to it, or don't have such a disdain for it. But man, season 1 of Discovery is still just bad. It just is. I just realized this. If Voyager had continued and somehow gotten to the edge of the Alpha Quadrant, would they have reached Breen space? They would have reached probably Romulan or Klingon space, wouldn't they? I don't think it would have been Breen. Breen's near the Cardassians, which is not where they would come from. U.S. Britons get to watch Prodigy on Sky TV months after its U.S. release. What fun! Yeah, us Britons, not U.S. Britons. Well, that sucks, man. You know, if only you had a premier VPN where you could access various streams or streaming services in which you would be able to get advantages. Just like Surfshark VPN. Just like Surfshark VPN. If you go to surfshark.deals/lore, you can get Surfshark VPN with an additional 3 months free, 83% off. And then you can pretend like you're in the United States and get to watch Star Trek Prodigy. I haven't seen Star Trek Prodigy, the sexy shillin', look at those lips on Lore. I haven't seen it yet. It looks interesting in the advertisements. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest. I'm just excited to have a series that I can watch with my kids. I really am. I don't know what it's about or if it's going to be good. I hope it's good because I would love to have something. Are they sponsoring your streams now? No, technically they only sponsored the videos that came out, but you know what the hell. New Trek airs on TV in Canada, so we get TV ads on the channel all the time. Huh. I think I knew that. In place of getting a VPN, just pirate it. No, Death Zor 42. No, sir. Bad, Death Zor 42. Bad. Always wondered about the Breen. They came out of the Dominion War the least affected. So, well, I think the Dominion came out of the Dominion War least affected. They had their entire infrastructure still on the Delta Quadrant. Think about that. The Prodigy design, the Prodigy ship design looks okay if it were in the Kelvinverse. I mean, you guys got to accept it's been 4 or 5 years. This is the way Trek looks now. This is just how it's done. Who pirates without a VPN? I do not support. I know. Me talking about the VPN. I'm not a huge fan of pirating. I don't really support that. But that's just a personal thing. He could have willed himself to be born from a woman to have a more human experience. What the hell are we? Who could have willed themselves to be born from a woman? The hell are you talking about, Professor Funk? I'm not going to lie, TNG is largely boring. Too much peaceful missions and not enough action. That, Denzel, is why TNG would never work, and I don't know why people are trying to bring it back. Audiences would not accept. TNG fell within a sweet spot that they could not do again. Accept it? No way. We are Trek fans. We live to complain. True Cinnabon Bunny. True facts. Lower deck ship designs look decent, though. Definitely fit in with the TNG era aesthetic. I could see that. I've never thought of it that way. That's so true, Mr. Oxnut. What are we talking about? We can get back on topic. Should writers listen? Alex, welcome to the Lore Reloaded. We never stay on topic. So, I mean, that's not. Writers should not listen, though. At all. Because of complainers. Because of the fandom menace. Writers should not at any point listen. I think that there's too much vitriol. Why should they? There's no advantage. If you listen, they'll only complain about something else. Lower Decks literally addresses concerns that have been brought up by the fandom menace. And what do? They get one screenshot, don't watch anything else, and complain about it. There is no reason. They should go as woke can be. So how were the Breen able to attack Earth? I assume they had cloaking devices. That's always been an interesting thing, because when you look at where Breen is versus where Earth is, it would take literal years for them to get there. They would have had to either use cloaking devices or the... I don't know. I guess cloaking devices would have been the best. Wasn't the fleet out of place for their attack? For their attack on Beta Z, they were out of place. I don't think they were for Earth, though. Whose video? I didn't see what you said before. BGC Veton. I didn't see what you said before. TNG was part of an era of American society where everything was optimistic, and Discovery comes at a time where everything is depressing. Not wrong. The Barzan wormhole is another missed opportunity. In a Voyager episode, we find out the other end can be held in one place by emitting a particle so the Federation could set up a ship or small base. That could have been interesting. I agree. If you were to put a most mentioned captains and admirals throughout Starfleet on trial for their atrocities in Star Trek TNG through Picard, who have as a jury and who would have as personnel? What? If you were to put the most mentioned... See, this is why Alex gets frustrated, people. We can't stay on topic. If you were to put most mentioned captains and admirals throughout Starfleet on trial for their atrocities in the Next Generation through Picard, who would I have as a jury and who would I have as personnel? I would assume that the jury would be made up of their peers. Would I have to come up with all of the people who I've ever seen in Trek? I guess I need an expansion on that. I think something with the tone of early TNG could work if it was done right. Are you familiar with the Japanese concept of Aishaki media? I am not. I can Google it. I am not.
Alex Bogey super chatted $2. Fandom Menace did not call me from nowhere.
Did not call me from nowhere? I have actually done a video on the Fandom Menace. I think nothing comes from nowhere. Depending on how you want to look at it, I do think that the Phantom Menace originally came up with good ideas, or at least a reasonable pushback. But that has long since sailed. Also, what happened to Starbase... By the way, thanks for supporting the channel, my friend. What happened to Starbase 001? Did the Breen do damage to it, or come out of warp on the other side of the planet and attack the range of Starbase weapons? I assume that they came out from the other side and attacked. Because the problem with Starbase is that generally they stay in one position. The link does not show... Oh, send it to me, BGCV. It won't show. It won't show on this. YouTube is particular about that. Send it to james@lorereloaded.com. And I'll take a look at it. And let me know what it is, what the link's to. They had reasonable objections and got taken over by the extremists. I would say they became extremists. The Phantom Menace, because the original Phantom Menace are still there. I would say Midnight's Edge, Nerdrotics, Doomcock, Mecha Random are OG. Maybe there were others that I just didn't know about, but they seem to be the ones that were on top. Star Trek Lower Decks fulfills Gene Roddenberry's vision? I don't think it does. I don't think it does at all. What would a Romulan Cardassian team up against the Federation and Klingons? That could be interesting. I couldn't see the Cardassians doing that at this point, but that could be interesting. Because the Federation would not only have to fight those two, but have to hold back, you know. Taken over by extremists is more in narrative content. I agree with that. Oh, okay. Star Trek Lower Decks fulfills Gene Roddenberry's vision. Gotcha. Oh, it's by... Is it Major Grin just having fun? If he's having fun, that's fine. But sometimes he does stuff that I just disagree with. He's done some things that are correct, too. He's done some things that are right, though. It's 1 minute and 17 seconds. 1 in the chat if we want to watch this. 2 in the chat if we just want to keep talking. And then you'll have to remind me what 1 or 2 means, because I'm going to forget, because I always forget. Because I am slowly going insane. So Justice Ag, I guess, changed. Are there flat earthers among the Federation population? That I don't see that there could. That seems like impossible. But then again, humans are dumb. So it's quite possible, I guess. Most people don't. I will watch it, and maybe we can talk on it next time then. Unless we get more ones, and then we will watch it, I guess. FM drama between Tom from Midnight's Edge and Mecha Random still rears its head from time to time. There was issues between Tom and Mecha Random. Oh, when did I miss that? Okay, Lore, so to better construct my previous comment, if you were to put captains and admirals on trial and would rule them as guilty as charged and move on to sentence them or let them off, it depends on if they were what they were put on trial for. Talk to you later, Cormac. Thanks for coming by, buddy. Can't there be... There might actually be a flat Earth. Like, Earth itself isn't flat, we know, but there might actually be a flat Earth. Starfleet could make super dreadnought battleships like the USS Arizona. True. Nechayev, to my knowledge, never broke any laws, so she would be innocent. Sometimes she was a real beast, but she didn't break laws. I never come across anything related to FM these days. I don't know where y'all find out about this stuff. Well, probably because I do this for a living, and so I have to not only deal with Phantom Menace commenters, which I love coming over and talking about how much Discovery sucks, even though it's been 4 or 5 years, but also other people being like, have you seen the FM do this? I prefer Cardassians to Kardashians. Indeed. Man, I don't know why I am having trouble. Ugh. I'm glad you agree with the title. Alright, let's take a look. Hup, 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 here we go. NSYNC has got the flow. Alright, so this is me talking, this is them talking. La la la.
So I go in, he says, I like the idea.
Alright, here we go. We ready? Man, if I get hit with a copyright strike because of this.
You got to go in to see Gene. So I go in, he says, I like the idea of Pleasure Planet. And I want it to be a place where you see women fondling and kissing other women, and men hugging and holding hands and kissing, and we could imply that they're having sex in the background.
I want to see an orgy in the background. I want to see sex, and I really want to make this a sexual... I'm thinking, what world am I in? It's now become this other thing, which is never going to get shot. It's never going to get aired. So I go to Rick. Men kissing men and women kissing women. I mean, I have no problem with that, but are we going to show that in 1989? He goes, oh, forget what Gene says.
He said it literally like that. He's like, are we going to show that in 1989? True, exact phrasing.
You know, don't listen to Gene. Just give us a funny episode, a light episode where the captain gets laid.
Not bad. Not bad. As I said, I've said before, I like Major Grin. I've talked to him. A lot of his stuff is wildly deceptive, but that right there, feel like it's on par. How about a warning before? Sorry, I didn't know what it was. Okay, so I apologize. I had no idea what they were going to show. So I'm not sure how I could give a warning for a video I don't know what they're going to show. That said, I apologize. I did not know that there was going to be those specific things. So if you want warnings, talk to Major Gun. I'm sorry, I thought you weren't going to show. You gave me a video to show, and I literally asked, do people want to see this? By the way, if you don't like that, do not go on my Twitter. Do not, whatever you do not go on my Twitter. Like, don't, like, actually hack my Twitter and look at it. There's a lot of people I follow that do worse than that. Yep. I'm a 30-year-old male. Y'all are going to have to deal with that. Is that a cat over our hero's right shoulder? It was a cat over your hero's right shoulder. I find it odd most Star Trek races have one unifying figure, while Earth has many different historical figures, mainly American. Do you find it odd? I find it very U.S.-centric and human-centric. I think it is odd for any universe. It's most likely they have multiple heroes. They just only talk about the one. You salute me for the braver. I mean, that's whatever. 345H upvote. Okay. I don't know what that means. But Big Zebra, if you're attempting to do a website and you're attempting to push your website on my channel, I guarantee you will never be seen again. Interesting and good point. Would I watch a series about the Enterprise B? I'm done with prequels. I really, really don't like prequels. If I want to see one, I would like to see Enterprise C. I think it's the C. Was it the C that fought against the Romulans and died? That's the one I'd see. But even then, you know how it ends. Red Letter Media not brought up everything wrong with the prequels. Force Awakens would not have been decent. Possibly. I could see that. Michael Jackson is a hero. It was the C. Oh, okay. So BigZero.com, is that just a name, or are you actually just like the website? I hate how the A, B, and C, all those same red uniforms. I don't hate the uniforms, but I understand. The Narinda 3, yeah. By the way, Big Zebra, sorry to go pretty harsh on you, but I have had people come in and try to like push people to websites and stuff. It's a bad thing that happens on YouTube. It annoys the living hell out of me. And yes, I learned how to type. Well, cool. Can we get Rick Berman and the other deal? It is so funny. First off, Rick Berman is not the best person on the earth. I would not want Rick Berman as an executive. He treated women horrifically. So no, not in the slightest. I think would you bring writers back? I'd love to see Lisa Klink back. Is Myers still alive? Because if he's still alive, I'd love to see him come back. I think bringing some back would be interesting. What material are the uniforms made from? Uncomfortable materials is all I can guess. Section 31 sounds like the bad seats. They're just the bad apples. I don't think Section 31 evolved from Area 50. Section 31 evolved from Area 51. I don't believe, no. I don't agree with our pessimistic diplomacy. Our government is pathetic and acts more like Klingons to protect Federation assets. Okay. Enterprise C self-destruct. It wasn't destroyed by the Romulans. Okay. No, I thought they got destroyed by the Romulans. Maybe I misunderstood that. Am I the only one that doesn't know what this scene depicts that someone pulled out of context with Lower Decks? I haven't watched the episode yet, but what did it show, or what was the big deal? It was just making fun of the naked... What was it? The Naked Now? It was just making fun of a Naked Now episode. It was just trying to have a little bit of fun. Most of the episode in context makes sense and has nothing to do with that. I've arrived at my school, so gotta go. Talk to you later, Rylan. Thanks for watching, Mr. or Mrs. Sato. Can we have a bit more variety in the security engineering or operations uniform? Why would they do that? All that matters is command. Berman was a poor writer. More naked skin is a sign of poor writing. He literally... Berman treated people horribly, and he literally would take... I I'm not joking with you. Go and watch TNG episodes because you'll see it, and you can't unsee it once you see it. If they put a female in frame and at the beginning, and they were doing credits, and her breasts were right here, he would have the their breasts was right here. He would have the credits right here, like literally, the credits would be moved to show the breasts of women. It was. Everyone needs to be uniformed. It's why all Trek outfits looked alike. True facts. True facts indeed. Everyone needs... Oh, we already said that. Picard's phrase is engage. If I was captain, my phrase would be lean our agaida, or go ahead. I thought the Irish only speak English. Heyo! I'm just joking. Calm down. Calm down. Cancelled. Cancelled. Why couldn't they just give 7 of 9 a uniform? Probably because she wasn't a Starfleet officer. But on that score, why couldn't they give Deanna a uniform? Kind of gets those, the noggin jogging. Alright, we're almost done. What shall we discuss before I end this stream? I mean, we can't have Starfleet personnel look like short-skirted cheerleader. Yeah, what would they be then? In the original series? Is it true that 7 of 9 corset was Berman's idea? The actress wanted to burn the thing? I don't know. I don't know how true that is. It is something I could see Berman doing, though. I'll be honest with you. It is definitely something Berman would have done. I just got a message. Who did I get a message from? This is a cool media studies article. I'll take a look at that, Lisa. Thanks for sharing. Intriguing. Laura, thank you for all you do with the effort. This is the perfect place for me to get my geek on. Well, I'm glad, Denzel. And thank you so much for the stuff that you've sent and stuff like that. I really appreciate that. And it's been really cool. I'm glad that... I really do want this to be... And I know this is going to trigger some people, but I really do want this to be kind of like a safe space for people to just come and hang out. And for the most part, we can talk about whatever we want to and not have to worry about stuff. I'm glad people can do that. What one episode race would you like to see again? I'd like to see Betazoids and Trills because I like the way the women look, and I would definitively have sex with them. Berman did it to T'Pol too, skin tight. Yeah, Berman was known for that. In my opinion, they should have civilian uniforms that are similar to everyone else's. I could see that. Guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. I'll see you on the next Lore Reloaded.